Saludos, muy buenas tardes, buenas noches, tengan todos bienvenidos a una edición más de Inventando con los Panas, Entrevista al Pana Season 2. Dímelo, oye, ¿qué es la que hay, hermano?
Oye, bienvenidos a todos, bienvenidos George, estamos bien emocionados de nuestro primer episodio de la segunda temporada de Entrevista al Pana, aquí de Inventando con los Panas, y qué mejor honor que tenemos a un querendón del pueblo de Arecibo, que bueno, que todos nos hicimos fanáticos de él y de verdad siempre aprendimos a quererlo, toda la fanática de los capitanes de Arecibo, nuestro Danilo Pinnock.
Yo, let's have it for Danilo Pinnock, let's go, my man.
What's up, man?
Welcome, hey, Junior, welcome here, man, to Inventando con los Panas. It's an honor, it's a pleasure to have you with us. And you know that you're my boy from a long time, you know, and it's great to hear you and see you again. And to let all the people in Puerto Rico, the young fellas that are growing up, and all our fans, to let you know, so people can know what your path and your career and everything that you have, bro.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me, man. You know, Arecibo is always going to be a very special place to me, man. That's my second home. I can't wait for all of this COVID stuff to go away. That's the first place I'm coming.
Awesome, brother.
Nice.
Awesome.
It's an honor for me, but I'm getting jealous because I'm a brother of George. So, man, I'm getting jealous. Come on, man.
It's a little bit jealous. Hey, you're still my brother. The thing is, hey, Danilo is a brother from another path, you know.
I know.
We got when Danilo used to play here in Arecibo, we got a great bond. Like me, Kike, and all the boys with Pachi and everything. We got an awesome time together. And like I said, Danilo put a little bit some seeds over there in Puerto Rico, and they turn out to grow into big trees. And people in Puerto Rico still remember you in Arecibo, and they love you. They love you a lot, bro.
Man, those days, I reminisce of those days a lot, man. You know, Kike and Pachi and, you know, the stuff we used to do, taking those little road trips to, you know, Cabo Rojo.
Oh, awesome.
Like yeah, man. Great time. Nothing but great
time.
But
did Kike sing to you anytime?
Oh, yeah. Kike, oh, man, we was at every show. I was at every show. Every show I had.
Nice.
Support my guy, man. Kike, that's my brother. Like you were saying, man, brothers, we was with each other every day for 3-4 years. Like, it was crazy.
Awesome. There we have a follower that says that Danilo was his coach in the project, in a tournament in the project.
Oh, I remember. I don't know who's saying it, but I remember coaching.
It's Jay Feliciano.
Actually, Jay used to play for me in at high school. Years after you left, he played for me, and he was a great player too. And he was a great basketball player, but he turned out to be a better baseball player. Actually, he signed with the Milwaukee Brewers after that.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's what it's about, man. Wherever it takes you.
So awesome. What else do you have, OJ?
They're saying that you give them sneakers.
Oh, always. Man. I've always thought like that was one of the things. Like Arecibo, from the day I got there, Arecibo gave to me as a city. The Pueblo always gave to me. So any opportunity I had to give back to a kid, I definitely was going to do that. I remember so many times just like riding past a park and seeing kids playing, just jump out the car and start playing with them. The smiles, that's what I did it for. You know what I mean? That's what you do it for.
You know something, OJ? Something that I would never forget. Like I was like in my 7th year young coaching, and I remember those days that Danilo went to my high school, and he started like doing some things over there, and we gave him like a T-shirt, you know, to show him the appreciation and everything. And he wore it on practice every time. Do you remember those days, Danilo?
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
you know, that's something that I really cherish. You know, something that is very important to me. You know, and you know, like I said, Danilo's a great guy with a great heart, you know.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Well, tonight we're gonna have a great time with you. Like I said at the beginning of the show, we're gonna bring you back your path, like right from the starts of your great career through basketball, and we like to show everybody and so people can know what was the path and everything that you have. We got somebody over there.
Yeah, they're asking that how it was to be the bad guy in the movie Hobbs and Shaw. Is Jamil Gonzalez.
I mean, that's a
Saludos,
compliment. That's Idris. I mean, Idris is like a sex symbol, so I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You know what I mean?
Well, let's start with this. Danilo Augustine Jr. Pinnock.
Mm-hmm.
You were born on December 11, 1983 in Fort Hood, Texas, right?
Fort Hood, Texas. Don't have one memory from there. My father was in the Army, so I moved around a lot. Yeah, moved around a lot.
Okay. So you're Panamanian from your father's side or from your mother's side?
My father is from Colón, C3.
Oh, okay. Awesome. So you were born in Fort Wood, Texas. Mm-hmm. And how were your beginnings over there? Like, actually, you told us that you've never been there, but where do you really grew up?
So my memories start in Seattle. My dad was stationed in Seattle, Washington. That was before I started going to school and all of that. But I actually learned how to play basketball and started playing basketball in Anchorage, Alaska. My dad was stationed in Alaska, and it was really, really cold in Alaska. So my parents weren't trying to do anything outside. So there was no football, there was no soccer, there was none of that. It was just basketball. So we were in the gym. So from a very young age, I'd probably say about 4 or 5 years old, my Saturdays weren't spent watching Saturday morning cartoons. I was in the gym. Not because I was being forced to do it, just because that's all I really wanted to do. And that never really changed at any, like right now, like I said, if my hip wasn't messed up, I'd still just want to be playing basketball.
Awesome.
So, I've always been a basketball junkie. Basketball is my first love. And it's crazy now because people always told me I was going to be a coach, and I never listened to it while I played. And then as soon as I was done, I realized, like, yeah, you're supposed to be a coach. Because literally all I've done my whole life is play basketball, man.
Wow.
Awesome. And the thing is that the kind of person that you are, very humble, and the way that you treat people and young kids specifically, that things comes along. You want to all your knowledge and all the things that you want to give it back to some degree, and that's why many people told you that about coaching and everything.
Right, my whole life. I mean, when I think about all the years of playing basketball, I was lucky enough to play professionally, to get paid to play the game of basketball for over 10 years. Not only that, I got to travel the world, doing it. If I don't share the knowledge that I gained with the guys coming up behind me, it's all for nothing. You know what I mean? Like that's what it's really about. It's not about all the money. It's not about any of that. It's about that knowledge that you gain, passing it on to the generations behind you. Start like now that's my whole purpose now.
Awesome.
I know that you maybe answer a little bit of this question, but where did you start and how was the process to gain your love for the basketball?
I can honestly say I don't know where the love for the game where it came from. The game chose me. I didn't choose it. But one thing I really fell in love with over the years was just the process of basketball. Like, going and playing on a team and not being the best kid on a team, and then working your tail off, and having a growth spurt, and then that next year playing with the same kids. I can honestly say I don't know. Is what I really, really fell in love with early on in the game, is that process of, sometimes being the best, sometimes not being the best, but always having an opportunity to work to become the best.
Wow.
Great. You are very actually, I was surprised. But well, not that surprised at all, because you boys here in the States that have a lot of opportunity to play other sports, especially football and basketball, baseball. But and let me tell you something, fellas. I wanna share this with Orlando and all the people that are watching us out here. We were playing softball, right? And we were playing a softball game, and Junior came to the baseball with the baseball park with the patching and stuff. and they got a football with Bulto. My boy Bulto had a football, and Danilo grabbed that thing, bro, and he throw a perfect spiral like 40, 60 yards down over there. And said, man,
Wow.
Yeah.
said, you can play football too? Like,
yeah, I played football in high school. I started playing football probably around third grade. We moved from Alaska to Alabama. So that was a culture shock to go from like Alaska to Alabama, which you guys see everything that's going on in this country right now.
yeah.
Those are the people, in Alabama, and their football is king. So I picked up a football in the third grade, and I realized that football was really easy. Catch the ball and run away from the guys trying to hurt me. It was an easy game compared to basketball. To me, basketball's chess. I got to make moves. It's poetry in motion. Football sometimes is just brute force. And if you're not a brute force guy like I wasn't, well, now I get to just dance and be wiggly, and that was fun. So I played football because I was fun. Because it was fun. Then we found out that I could throw a football probably like in the 8th grade.
Awesome.
And then I played quarterback. I'll say this: I was the best quarterback on my high school team to never play a down at quarterback.
Awesome. Wow.
So I don't know if you guys understand. Like, I know football is not a huge thing in PR, but still, like, I love football, but I never wanted to put my body through that. I play with my friends.
I'm a football junkie, bro.
You could be surprised about the people that love football in Puerto Rico. Yeah.
I apologize. I remember trying to find games. Trying to find games at sports bars, and they was like, basketball, baseball, or boxing. Football being played on TV and bars. When I was
there's always an excuse to watch football and get together with your friends.
Absolutely, football's the best drinking sport because it's so long. Like, the game is so long. It's like, if I don't drink, I'm not gonna finish this game.
Especially your boy George is hurt because my Steelers lost. And, I'm a big fan of the Steelers, but. So basically, besides basketball, you got a love for football too.
Football and boxing. That was big when I came to that was boxing. I mean, I remember watching Floyd and Miguel Cotto in his backyard on the projector.
Yeah, remember those days?
Everybody like kind of giving me the side eye because I'm like, Floyd's gonna win this one.
And you know that we got to root for our boy.
Absolutely, absolutely.
What else, LJ?
Okay, when do you realize that you want to be a pro player? That was your passion, that you're gonna be your profession?
That's crazy because my grandmother would tell the story all the time that when I was younger, you could ask me my name and I would tell you it was Michael, either Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, or Mike Tyson. So from early age, I knew I wanted to do something different. I knew I didn't want to get a job. I never said I wanted to be a firefighter or I wanted to be a police officer. I wanted to be a basketball player.
Wow.
From day one. It was never any other profession. I want to be a basketball player. That's part of the message when I talk to younger guys now that I make sure that I convey to them, like, you got to know how powerful your mind is. Like, you can actually manifest and make things happen if you're willing to put the work in and really believe it. So I always say I never had another job that I wanted. I never wanted to be a rapper I just want to play basketball. That was it.
But you did practice boxing and you did play basketball, but you never seen as Michael Jackson.
No. Well, in the shower.
Okay.
That's in the shower, Or if I'm driving the car, they gotta tell you, I'm always singing Bob Marley. I'm always.
Yeah.
I love Bob.
You know that I love that reggae root music too, bro.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's the main thing that you wanted to do. You fall in love with the game. You wanted to be a pro, but in order to get to there, there's a path. Like, you started playing back in Alaska, like you said, but in order to that, like, you played in your elementary school,
right,
junior high school, the AAU traveling teams, and all that stuff. Can you tell us a little bit about those years over there?
Right.
And the players that probably were with you, because for sure you got at least you had to compete against great competition over there.
Yes, no doubt about it. I would say, so like the early years for me were kind of weird because like I would say like at 9 years old I was one of the better kids, and at 10 years old I wasn't. Then at 11 years old I was. It kept going back and forth. About eighth grade is when it really all kind of started looking towards like that I might be a serious basketball player. That year I was playing on my middle school team. I was a starting point guard, and halfway through the season I started growing.
Okay.
Which was great, don't get me wrong, but it took a toll on my body. So my knees and my back were bothering me so much my 8th grade year that I couldn't play.
Wow.
I couldn't play. Like I would start the game, he'd sub me out of the game and sit me down for a minute and try to put me back in the game, and my body would just be like, nah, it's not gonna happen. Fast forward, that summer I grew from 5'5" to 6'2". So it was a huge growth spurt. It was a huge growth spurt. So 8th grade, I wasn't on anybody's radar. I had to ask an AAU coach. Like he came to my team's like last game and invited everybody to the tryout. He didn't invite me, so I had to go to him and be like, "Hey, can I come to the tryout?" And he said, "Yeah, come to the tryout." He didn't think I was gonna make the team. The first night of tryouts, I was shell shocked. Kids were so big, they were fast, I had only played against kids in my little area. I hadn't played against kids in a bigger area, especially being new to the Atlanta area, summer of Atlanta. So first night, tryout didn't go as well as I wanted to. I remember I was in the car, really wasn't saying anything, was nervous for the second night of tryouts. And my dad was like, "Hey, I think it's something about Latino fathers that they don't really have a cut card when it comes to their son. Like they're gonna tell you how it is."
Yeah.
Straight
up. Like, and my father told me, like, "Yo, son, like if you perform like you did the other night, like you're not gonna make this team. You're gonna get cut." And to hear that from my father kind of lit something in me. When I tell you, I had a tryout that night. I didn't score 1 point, but dominated the tryout.
Okay.
I was a true like point guard. I ran the floor. I ran the show. Was vocal. Did everything that a point guard is supposed to do.
Yeah.
And the coach, I was the last kid to make the team. He told me straight up, he said, "Hey, I wasn't gonna put you on a team. I didn't even invite you, but you made the team." Again, I was still growing, so I couldn't play a whole bunch that summer. My freshman year of high school, I told my middle school coach, I went back to my middle school and told him, "Hey, I'm gonna play varsity this year." And he laughed at me. And I said, "Okay, no problem." 2 weeks before tryout start, I'm a full 6'2" tall.
Awesome.
So as a freshman, I make the varsity and I'm playing point guard, and my team is terrible. We went 2-22 my freshman year.
Wow. That was in Georgia?
Yeah, my high school, freshman year of high school, we went 2-22. So that year I tried out for another AAU team, a little bit closer to where I wanted to be, and it went pretty well. Didn't have a great summer. Still, nobody really knew who I was. My sophomore year, I grew another few inches. Now I'm like 6'3", 6'4". I'm dunking now, like I'm dunking on a regular. The athlete that you guys know, that's starting to show now.
Awesome.
And I start to get a little buzz. I probably cracked the top 100 in the state my sophomore year. I entered the rankings probably at like 35, something like that, my sophomore year. Sophomore year, again, have a decent year. I make the all-region team, which is like kind of like an all-star team for your area. I make that team. I try out for another AAU team this summer, and it's a little higher. We're traveling a little bit. We starting to get out on the circuit, and that season I dislocate my hip. That my sophomore season I dislocate my hip. I come back at the end of the season. I probably should never came back, and had a good year. But at the end of that season, going into my junior year, now I'm top 20 in the state of Georgia. Junior year, as an individual, I kill it. I put on one of the best shows that people to this day talk about my junior year of high school.
Awesome.
The things that I did on the floor. My team only won 7 games, but we literally lost. I'll never forget this stat. We went 7-19 that year. We lost 18 games by a total of 5 points.
Oh my goodness.
5 points or less. Like we were losing. We didn't have any coaching, but we ended up losing all those games.
It probably you got a coach that at least have some knowledge on the game.
Yeah.
You probably you can go split those losses. Probably you're going to go like 9-9.
Right. My high school coach was the My high school coach was 5'5". He played college football at some small college in Kentucky, and he was a teacher. Nothing against
short guy. Hey, remember, I'm a short guy
nothing
too. I'm
against,
only
you know,
5'10".
nothing about him said basketball coach. Like when you looked at him, it was like nothing about him said basketball coach. But anyway, he coached me for 3 years, and we had those bad years. My senior year of high school. I'm sorry. That year AAU, I have a big summer on the AAU circuit. I don't break the national rankings, but in the state of Georgia, I'm top 5 in my class now. So
Awesome.
I'm one of the top guys in my class, you know, going into my senior year. Senior year, I have a chance to take over the, you know, everything in the state. I think I have a chance to help my team go deep into the state tournament. I'm ranked top 5, top 3 in the state of Georgia, and I'm academically ineligible. My grades slipped to the point where I couldn't play anymore. So I have to reclass and come back to school for a 5th year of high school. It's called a prep year, which a lot of kids are prepping now.
Yeah.
So I prep. I have another. You want to come say hi? Real quick. Just say hi. Just say hi.
Hello.
All right.
Hi.
All right, buddy. Let me finish this, okay? Go ahead. Go outside and close the door because I know you're not going to be quiet all the time. Love you. All right. So close the door for me. Close the door. All right. So yeah. So sorry about that.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So I reclass and I go to prep school in Virginia Beach. It's a prep school called Coastal Christian Academy. And I go there, and it is everything that I ever wanted. We take classes in the morning. By about 12 o'clock, we're done with classes. From 12 to about 6 to 7 o'clock in the evening, I'm in the gym, lifting, shooting, practice. I played for a guy named Walt Webb, and he really taught me what hard work was, like what, you know, the type of work you have to do to become a professional, you know, basketball player. At that time, I was thinking about college, but like I said, from day one, I wanted to be a pro. So we worked that year. Going into that season in prep school, we played in a bunch of all over. I went to Nike All-American camp, 5-star camp, traveled all around, ran into Amari Stoudemire in Philadelphia, which was awesome. which was eye-opening to see that caliber player in high school. It really opened my eyes up to how much talent was really out there. Anyway, at the end of that year, I was top 100 in the country. I was top 3 in the state of Virginia. Still held my ranking in the state of Georgia at top 5. So I was starting to get national recognition. That's when Carl Hobbs and GW, George Washington University, found me.
Awesome.
I had bigger schools that I could have attended, but GW was the right fit, you know, the right team. It was almost like the college version. We didn't play the same way as we did in Arecibo, but it was almost like the college version of that team.
Awesome.
And, you know, you had guys on that team like Pops Mensah-Bonsu, who played
for
the Dallas Mavericks, Toronto Raptors, Mike Hall, who played for the Washington Wizards, and then he's still playing in Italy right now. I think he's in his 14th year in Italy now. You know, Carl Elliott, who played in Venezuela with Cocodrilo, Caracas, for years. That was my point guard. You know, so we had a really good team, and it just to bring it full figure again. When I got to Arecibo, that's the type of team I felt that I found. Even the first year, which was a totally different year than the rest of the year. But I think I'm going a little too far.
No, we're gonna get there. Don't worry about it. We're gonna get there. Before we continue, because LJ has another question for you. Yeah. Remember Luis? Luis?
Yeah.
Luis?
Yeah.
He's saying hi. He's saying, "Oof, Danilo, what a great guy." I said, "Please say hi to me. He's a great person. I love you a lot. I love him a lot." So
definitely, man. Luis definitely good people, man.
Yeah. So, you got this.
I want to say hi to Pito Bolsa, that is a friend of us. Has another podcast there in his channel. So, hi to Pito Bolsa. Okay, Danilo. You had a great college career. Tell us about your achievement there and what was the process to the NBA draft?
Okay, so at GW, freshman year, I was all rookie team. I averaged like maybe 9 points per game. I'm off the bench. I think I made all defense. Yeah, I made all defense that year. I look because the plaque is
Yeah.
right. So I look. All
Great.
defense that year. We went 18-12. We made the NIT. The previous year before my freshman year, they went 12-18. So we flipped the record. We made a postseason tournament, the NIT, which we weren't excited to play in at all. We called it the not important tournament, and we went down and lost the game to UVA that we probably could have won had we decided to start playing, in the first half and not with like 10 minutes left. Sophomore year was sixth man of the year in the A10. I averaged, I think, maybe 12 or 13 points off the bench, 5 rebounds. We went 22-8 that year. We beat Maryland, who had John Gilchrist and Nick Kaner Medley, James Gist. They had all those guys on their team. We beat them on a Saturday, and then we beat Michigan State on Saturday. We had Shannon Brown, Maurice Ager, Paul Davis, who all played in the NBA. We beat them, and then the next night we beat Maryland to enter the polls for the first time in like I don't know how many years in school history. We made the tournament that year. We lost to Georgia Tech in the first round. In my junior year, we had the best record in the country. We were 26-1 going into the tournament. We got a raw deal. We got an 8 seed with the best record in the country because our big guy got hurt, and we ended up losing to Duke in the second round that year with J.J. Redick and Sheldon Williams, Josh McRoberts, DeMarcus Nelson, Sean Dockery. They were pretty loaded. We ended up losing them in the second round by like 13. After that game, 2 of my teammates were going to be graduating and leaving the team, Pops Mensah-Bonsu and Mike Hall. I felt that was the right time for me to also leave because I didn't know if we were going to be as good the following year without them. Not only that, I had children, so it was time for me to go make some money. So, I decided to put my name in the draft, and no one thought I was going to get drafted. I started off with a super agent, Andy Miller, great agent, Kevin Garnett, Chauncey Billups, all these great NBA guys.
Excuse me, Danilo. Excuse me for a little bit. I just want to show you something so that people can see a little bit of. Do you recognize this guy
right now, JR Pinnock?
Yeah. Yeah, Summer League. Yeah, with Portland. So crazy thing about that game, Jared Bayless. You guys remember Jared Bayless played in the NBA for that was his rookie year. So the Blazers had just drafted him, right?
Wow.
So we're practicing Summer League. I'm having great practices. I'm playing well. I'm working hard for this opportunity. I'm playing behind a draft pick, so that means I'm not getting any playing time. Jared breaks his hand this almost second to last game of the Summer League. So they're like, hey, this last game, you're going to get to start. You're going to play. Go out there and do your thing. I go for 30.
Wow.
I go for 30.
Awesome.
At that time, Monty Wilson was the coach, was the assistant coach out there. He was coaching us for the Summer League. And one of the reporters happened to say, what do you think about, J.R. Pinnock's performance tonight? And this guy is such a great person. He says, oh, well, he probably thinks I was holding him back. Real sarcastic. You know what I mean? And I can remember doing an interview and hearing him say that. And it was I'm cool on this NBA thing. I'm going overseas.
Oh my God.
I'm cool on this NBA thing. Because I saw what all goes into having an NBA career. It's not just basketball, it's the politics, it's the and you guys, I'm not that great at that part. George can tell you that I wear my feelings and my emotions on my sleeve. So but yeah, no, that was great times again.
So basically you at the end you were playing college, you got a great college career. Mm-hmm. At the end of it.
Right.
And it comes to NBA draft now, you can start doing the workouts for the teams, right?
Yeah.
Talk us a little bit about that path, going to that path and the experience.
Right. Well, my path, when I put my name in the draft again, nobody expected me to be drafted. So I went from not doing any workouts to doing about 13 workouts in 20 days. And they weren't it's not like they set you up where you go from one side of the country to the other side of the country. It was literally a flight from Seattle one night to Sacramento that same day to work out in the morning for, I have to be in Boston, and I have to be back in DC to work. It was, but because of the process, I loved it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting to travel to all these different NBA facilities and meet all these NBA people that I've been watching my whole life. And you know what I mean? Like, I got to meet Joe Dumars when, I worked out with the Pistons. Like, that was like, it's crazy. I went to LA for my first workout with the Lakers, and, Kurt Rambis, I just asked my first question to Coach Rambis, like, how did it hurt when you fall? The Celtics clip when he's going to the basket and he gets fouled.
Yeah, he got clobbered.
Like, did that hurt? Like, talking to these guys, like, that was just, so I didn't even realize how tired I was until the actual draft night. Like, the draft night was the most long and excruciating, because your agent, nobody knows, it's not scripted. Maybe like the first 4 or 5 picks are scripted, but then after that, like, people are literally on the phone, like, things are being, so, it's like, you worked out for this team, they liked you, they loved you, okay, you might, the phone didn't ring, they're not going to pick you. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that for like a bunch of picks. So I always tell this story because it's so crazy. Again, I'm a huge person and I believe in the universe. This is a crazy story. Now, listen to this. So in that year, 2006, right? Jordan Farmar was projected as one of the best point guards in the draft. The New York Knicks were projected to take a point guard that year. They had a couple. If you remember, I don't want to give that away. But anyway, they had a couple picks that year. Isaiah Thomas is the GM.
Oh, yeah.
I still haven't forgiven Isaiah Thomas. But anyway, Isaiah Thomas is the GM, right? So I work out for the Lakers one time. The night before the draft, that morning, they fly me back out to LA. I work out in LA, have another great workout. They called my coach and told my coach that, hey, if everything shakes out, we're going to take JR with the 26th pick in the draft. Because everybody's thinking that the Knicks are going to take these point guards.
Yeah.
With the 20th pick in the draft, the New York Knicks select Ronaldo Balkman.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right?
I remember that.
Which leaves Jordan Farmar on the table to be taken with the 26th pick by the Los Angeles Lakers. He won 2 city championships in LA. He took UCLA to 2 Final Fours. They have to pick him. They need a point guard. He's available. You have to pick him. So that started my night of drama. A couple picks later, 46, the Washington Wizards were going to pick. Again, we had a lot of communication with them. They picked a guy from overseas who never came to the NBA. So then we have a guarantee from the Pistons with the last pick. If the Pistons didn't have it, they only had 1 draft pick that year. And they were going to take me up with the last pick if I was still there. The Lakers make a trade with Dallas to pick me at 58 overall, and that's my draft story. Like, I end up with the Lakers, and it was a world. Like, I stopped watching it. I stopped watching the draft. I was in my dad's office playing the video game.
Yeah,
I didn't want any more. Like, I just didn't want any more of it.
Like,
it was
for the people that don't understand, like, being drafted in the first round and being drafted in the second round is a big difference. Like,
huge difference.
Like, it's money, more money, years guaranteed, playing in the league, all that kind of stuff, right?
Being drafted in the second round is your invitation to try to make the team.
Exactly.
So it's another grind where I don't think I had the mental strength to grind that whole draft process to get drafted and then to start all over.
Yeah.
I was drained. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was meant after the draft process, after getting my name called, I was drained. I didn't have anything mentally left. I needed somebody in my ear to kind of talk me and walk me through the process. I just didn't have that. I was released on the last day of training camp, and then the rest is history.
Awesome, bro. Awesome.
Hey, there is Kike saying hi to Danilo.
Kike. He's not performing tonight. They're not.
They're not playing because of the COVID. There's also another person over there that wants to say hi. He appreciates it. They're telling Oye.
Yes, it's Ivan Nieves saying hi to Danilo. Ivan Nieves.
Ivan is I need to reach out to him because I'm following. He really put the player development bug in me. So awesome. I need to definitely salute, man. Ivan is a legend. Coach Nieves, his beautiful wife. They just great people. Miss them a bunch. Like I said, I can't wait for this COVID stuff to be done with so I can get back down there.
I want to say hi to my colleague and my teammate, Coach Ivan Nieves. I hope you, sir, that you are good. You and your wife over there. Hopefully, we will see. Nos veremos pronto. We will see us soon when this COVID things ends up. Well, oh yeah, you got something?
I think it's gonna te toca a ti.
Okay. Well, you told us about the path through your achievements in college and the process of the NBA, but we want us to share with us. Tell us about your experience with Kobe Bryant, and the Lakers. Your time in the Lakers, and what did the Mamba meant to you, and still mean to you? You know.
Handsome, hold on, handsome. I'm busy, baby. I'll be out in a little while. Okay. Okay. I don't know. I'll be out in a little while. Sorry.
But, it's okay.
Yeah, the Lakers. The Lakers. It's crazy. I grew up a Bulls fan and a Lakers fan. And the Lakers are everything that you think they are. They are a top-notch organization. They are the capitanes of the NBA. Awesome. Everything is done the right way. Players are taken care of first. They're treated like first-class citizens. I mean, it's the Lakers. I mean, it kind of, those first few jobs I had overseas, the Lakers kind of ruined any chance of me being happy playing with those organizations, just because you go from the best in the world, everything else is just like, so I apologize for those first few organizations that I played with, but, the Lakers set the bar very, very high. Kobe, first of all, RIP, to my opinion, the second greatest basketball player to ever play the game. Just to have a chance to be in his presence was different. That's the only word. Like I could say special. I could put all these different adjectives on it. Yeah. He's just different. He's just different. I remember warming up for a game. At that time, my philosophy was before a game, I want to be the first guy on the floor. So I was the first guy on the floor, and I'm out there working out. I'm doing what I've always been doing. And Kobe comes up to me and he's like, "Yo, Knock, what the hell are you doing?" And I'm like, I'm doing what I've always done, Kobe. I'm doing what got me here. And he's like, "Yo, like, at what point in the triangle offense are you gonna be able to do any of that?" You know what I mean? Like, at what point? So it was like, damn, okay, I'm working hard. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, you was all fed up. You were.
Yeah, I'm working hard, but you got to work hard and smart. Like, just to work hard isn't enough.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So, he was just like, he was like, you're not going to be able to do any of that in the triangle. Like, you're damn sure not going to be able to do any of that with me on the floor in the triangle. So how, you know what I mean? Like, so it was eye-opening. And that really, like, started to open my eyes to, like, okay, like I said, working hard is, that's good, but got to work smart, watching, his rehab, this 6-6-6. That's his workout. I know some people think that has a different meaning, but that means 6 hours a day, 6 days a week. You know what I mean? Like from 6 to 6, 6 hours a day, 6 days a week.
Wow.
He's getting it in. And you got to think about this. At this point, the training facility is in El Segundo. He lived out in Orange County. Without traffic, that's like a 45 to an hour minute, ride. With traffic, you're talking an hour 30. That was the whole reason why he started flying the helicopter.
Yeah, I know.
To cut that time. So if he's saying he's going to be in the gym at 6, and I just gave you all those numbers, what time is he leaving the house?
Yeah, probably 3:30, 4.
Right. And that workout at 6 a.m. is not necessarily his first workout of the day.
Wow.
Huh.
When you're around that, and you like, it's one thing to me for me to say it. You know what I mean? And for people everybody knows about his work ethic.
Yeah.
But to see it changes you.
It's a different thing. It's completely
it's different. That year, 2006, Kobe he was hurt. He had a knee injury. He had knee surgery that year. He wasn't supposed to come back until like Christmas. I think he missed like the first 3 games of the season, and he was out there. Like, he was like, this doesn't look right. And he was out there. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a different type of person. I mean, it sucks that he's no longer here. It sucks that we're not going to be able to see him take his, have his his Hall of Fame induction speech.
Yeah.
It sucks that we're not going to be able to see him, bald-headed with a great beard, on the sideline at Laker games. But the only way that, like, he's no way he can have the impact that he's having on the world right now if he was still here. And it sucks. And that's usually the way it is, but it's like it's kind of fitting. Like it's like La Bamba, right? You think about the movie La Bamba. Like,
exactly. Ricky Valens. Yep.
The story, you know what I mean? Like, you think about Roberto Clemente.
Exactly.
It sucks that we had to lose them. But if we don't lose them, their messages, what they tried to do, how they wanted everybody to live, the impact they want is not as great. Even Muhammad Ali. Think about all the stuff Muhammad Ali went through, all the stuff but we kind of forgot about him toward the end of his life because, he couldn't no longer talk. They only brought him out, for them to see him. We think we forgot about all the greatness, but then when he died, all the greatness comes back. So now we look at Kaepernick, we see Muhammad Ali, we see everything go. So it's almost like we hate that we have to lose our heroes, our legends, but sometimes when we lose them, it has such a bigger purpose.
So actually, it happens the same. It's the same thing with Kareem and Bill Russell. Like they only mention the name when they see him like sidelining in the game or something like that. Right. But you see the even the NBA, they don't talk that much about them and everything, So it's bad. Yeah. What was something that Kobe did for you? Like probably you guys at one moment like speak more than that. He probably give you some advice.
Right.
He probably took you like from a veteran to a rookie in your rookie year,
Right.
If you got something that you can tell us about it, to all the people and us.
The picture hanging behind me, right? That was a preseason game. That was my first NBA action. We were playing the Clippers. I had to guard Cuttino Mobley.
He was rough. 6'6",
left-handed.
Oh my goodness! Oh no, that's a 6'4" actually. Yeah. Cuttino was a 6'4". He was a cat.
Yeah, left-handed, just smooth. So I'm not doing terrible on him on defense. I mean, I'm doing about as good as you can expect a rookie to be doing against the NBA vet. But on the offensive side, I am missing layup after layup after layup. I'm talking about one possession. The game is on TNT and everything. Like, it's the game. Like, I go to the basket, miss the layup, get the offensive rebound, go up, miss the layup again, try to go up and dunk it, and miss that on one possession.
Wow.
So possession. I don't remember exactly how many possessions go by, but during the timeout, I can remember this. The color of his blazer is like a ruby red.
Yep.
He had a matching ruby. It's in the other ear. You can't see it, but he had a matching ruby in his ear to match his blazer. Oof. And all he's saying to me in this picture is, "Hey, stop being scared." That's all he said to me.
Oh yeah.
Right. But you don't expect it from Kobe Bryant, and the fact that after he slapped me on my butt and smiled. Awesome. You don't expect that from Kobe Bryant, especially not from I'm a rookie. I'm a second-round draft pick. I'm not somebody that they're looking at like right now that this guy is going to be a fixture in our organization.
Yeah, I got you.
And for that picture to be caught, but I'm not going to share the knowledge that he gave me behind the scenes because I hold that to me.
I got you.
So I'm not going to share that. But yeah, man, just know that. Great dude. I know the first question a lot of people always ask me about Kobe is like, is he an asshole? No, not at all. Like,
he was a leader, bro. He was a leader. That's it.
Like,
so he was a leader that cares about every teammate.
Every teammate, but we're gonna get our work done. When we're getting our work done, it's all seriousness. There's no playing around. There's no laughing, joking, giggling. No, we can get this work done. And then once we step off these lines, then he's your brother. He's in the locker room. He's in the locker room playing around with guys, putting guys in heads, all of that. But while we getting his work in, we can get his work in. That was his mindset.
Awesome. Oh, yeah, you got something for him.
Yes. Tell us about your experience overseas in basketball and in Puerto Rico, about this championship with the Capitanes.
So all the places I played in Italy, Israel, Germany, Greece, Venezuela, obviously Puerto Rico, Panama, Colombia, Brazil, Argentina, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico is my favorite place, specifically Arecibo.
Awesome.
So I played all of. I was having a decent career. The first year I played in Arecibo was 2008. So I had been a pro for a couple years. We played in the Central Basket with Panama. I was playing with Panama, and we played against Puerto Rico. And me and JJ went at it. I think JJ might have finished with like 42. I finished with like 38, but we went at it. And Don Luis was at the game, and I had already signed the contract to go to Italy. Me and Jaime Lloreda were going to Italy together that year.
Yeah.
So I'd already signed the contract, and Don Luis told me, and Josue was there too, I believe. And Don Luis told me, said, you know, you're gonna come play for my team. And I said, okay. You know, a lot of people had said that to me in Mexico and then playing, you know, or playing the tournament. So I didn't know who Don Luis was. I didn't know anything about Capitana de Arecibo at the
Great
time.
person. I will have the moment to say hi to them, to Don Luis Montezut and all his family. I hope they are doing good. That's our boss over there, man.
Absolutely. Don Luis. So definitely salute Don Luis. As far as owners go, as far as team owners go, definitely the best team owner I ever played for. You know, just like I said, first class all the way. Don Luis, like you said, you know, salute. But so I go to Italy, have money problems in Italy. Team runs out of money, is, you know, not paying us. I stay for a little while, then I'm like, yo, man, I got a family. I didn't sign up to, you know, play basketball in Italy for free. I can do that at LA Fitness back at home in Georgia. So I'm out. My agent sends me to Argentina. I go to Argentina, and I play in Argentina. I'm having a good run in Argentina. Had an issue at home where my father's health was put in question. I didn't know what was going on. With playoffs in Argentina, but family first. So I told him I needed to leave, you know, and I left. And I was really like, oh, I left this job. I left a lot of money on the table. I didn't get paid in Argentina. I don't know what's going to happen. And here comes a phone call from Don Luis Monrozo and Capitana de Arecibo. And I come down, and I think we win a game, and then we lose. We lose a game. This is before Larry and Guillermo. This is me, Buster, Carlito Rivera, Omar Alvarado, Pachi, Eduardo Pegan.
Danny was there too, right?
Danny wasn't still in Bayamon. Danny wasn't there yet.
Jeff was there?
Jeff was there. Michael Watson.
Michael Watson was there too, yeah.
David lo mencionó, David Cortez.
David Cortez was there.
David Cortez, of course. David Cortez. You know, and we ended up winning like 15 games in a row. And getting to, and that was the year we had that stupid round robin. The stupid round robin where we had to play in Santurce against my favorite point guard. I hate this. Let me say my favorite point guard that I never played with. Christian Del Mal.
Okay.
We had to play them in Santurce, which is a home game for Bayamon. And long story short, they ended up beating us. And my first championship, I just knew we were going to win a championship that year. I knew I was going to get my first championship as a pro. We played like the Golden State Warriors before the Golden State Warriors at the time. If you think about this, we started Jeff Aubrey, 6'10". We started Buster Figueroa, 6'5". 6'5".
Yeah, I remember.
We started myself
at the 3.
We started David Cortez, and we started a point guard, Pachi or Alfredo or Carlito. We were the point guard. That's how we played, and we ran through the league. And if it's not for a crazy performance by Christian Del Mal, I believe we won the championship that year. But that round robin got us, and we had to play them there, and we ended up losing that game. And I remember in the hallway just being crushed because I had really got my feelings, like I just knew we were going to win the championship, and it didn't happen.
Let me tell you a story real quick.
Go ahead.
When I was working, right? You know that I was always a big fan of the team. Like Capitanes is something that we gotta see. Was goes to our veins. And I was in my first customer that year. It was at the Yoka Chancari of Adillo, right? And when I heard that they signed you, people were asking me like who he was.
Right.
And when I saw you, I said, hey, this kid can ball, right? This kid will change the game. But he's only 6'5". We don't need a guy like that. And I say, hey, believe me.
I was replacing Marcus Pfizer. You guys
Was
think
that?
about that? I was replacing Marcus
Exactly.
Pfizer.
Exactly. So they said to me, check this out. They said, but we need a bigger guy. And I said, hey, I'm telling you, this dude, at the time you were trying out or playing you played the summer league with Portland or something like that. You got some highlights. And I remember your first game was in Santurce. And we went to the game, to the Choliseo. And you were wearing the red Adidas.
My pro models. Yeah.
Ooh, am I wrong or am I right?
You're right. My red shoes. I always.
And I was with my boy Kevin and Keegan and say, hey, enjoy. You will see this guy perform. I guess it was the first or second time possession of the game. You went to dunk on somebody. I don't remember who was the big guy for Santurce. So you take the baseline and you drove it up, boom. And they say, what? They say, hey, I told you guys, this kid got you know. Yeah. It was amazing. It was amazing for real.
Yeah, so yeah, that year was a good year, and it opened me up to Latin America as far as playing professionally, and that was my first job in Latin America. And not only that, just really showed me what the league was like in Puerto Rico, because it was nothing like what I played in Europe. In Europe, it was one game a week and a whole bunch of practices, and I came to Puerto Rico and it was like, I'm back in the NBA. I'm driving to the games. We got a game every other day. Like practice is like a shoot around. Like this is great. Like, you know, so the next year, which is where I really think that's when the relationship between me and the city became like intertwined together. Was I went to Israel and I had a great year in Israel. My team went to the Final Four. We beat Maccabi Tel Aviv. We went to the Final Four of the Cup and of the playoffs. We beat Maccabi Tel Aviv during the regular season. We beat Jerusalem like 3 times. We had a great year. And I remember Josue calling me and saying, hey, are you available? And I was like, I'm finishing up here, but I should be available in a couple of days. He said, okay, well, let me know as soon as you get back to the States so I can get you, see what happens. So he calls me, like literally the day I get to the States. He's like, hey, are you ready? And I'm like, I just really got home, but he's like, listen. He said, listen, we're down 3-2 in the semifinals to Quebradilla.
Yeah, I remember those things.
He says, and I don't have a problem mentioning names because these guys are still my people.
Yeah, I know.
Darius Rice was playing, was filling and I looked at it like that. He was filling my spot. So he was playing and he hit a game winner. Yeah. He hit a game winner because I think the team would have been down 3-1. He hit the game winner to make the series 3-2. Or no. Yeah, he got one more game because I stayed in the hotel for 24 hours.
Okay.
Don Luis asked me to stay in the hotel and not let anybody know that I was there. Because the night I got there was a game.
Oh, yeah.
So Don Luis didn't want anybody to know that I was there. So he asked me to stay in the hotel. He didn't put me in Hatillo and he put me in another hotel. Because at that time, he'd always put me in Hatillo. I liked it. The food was right downstairs. I could just run downstairs, get my food, go back upstairs to my room. He didn't put me in that hotel because he didn't want nobody to know I was there. So they play and they lose. And the series is 3-2. And then they inject me into the series. And we go to Quebradillas and we win a crazy game.
We flipped it.
We win a crazy game in Quebradillas to go back home. And then we play them at home and we get them out of there. And we go on to play Christian Del Mar and Bayamon in the finals.
Yeah.
And, I think it was game 7 in Bayamon. We didn't get to finish the game because the fans started throwing.
Yeah, I remember.
I was there.
That was the moment where it was like, I'm never leaving this place. That was my mindset after that. After winning that championship, it was like, I'm never going anywhere. And then, now Larry and Guillermo are there, and I'm like, man, this team is So we all start talking to each other about the next year, about not going anywhere and just staying around to play. You know, we would go play in Liga Las Americas.
Yep.
You know, we all decide, okay, we're gonna, you know, stick around, and most of us do. And that's really where that I call it, you know, a dynasty. You know, it's three finals in 3 years with 2 championships. I don't think anybody is. You know, I think Ponce went back to back here recently, but you know that the way we did it, it was just like, you know, we had literally a 2-3 year span where we almost, if we didn't win it, we were second place. You know what I mean? Like if we didn't win, like all over Latin America, we were feared almost.
Yep.
Walking in the gyms with Flamingo, and they're like, man, it's them boys from Puerto Rico, like it's different. You know what I mean? We're beating Flamingo, we're beating Kimsa, we're beating, you know, teams that they've been playing together for 6, 7, 8 months. We've been together for a few months, you know. And it was just, I mean, I think that team, I don't know about all-time teams in Puerto Rico, but I'm rocking with my group, Larry Ayuso. Shout out to Larry and Guillermo and Danny Santiago and Peruco Lattimore and you know we had special groups, man. Bamboo, like we from just special groups, man, like special.
Awesome. Oh yeah, you got something for him, right?
Yeah, there is Alexis Zambrana. I mentioned Keenan Jordan that was in that team.
Yeah.
And there's Carlos Perez saying that you are one of the best. Se me fue la palabra. Imports in Puerto Rico.
Refuerzo, yeah, Spanglish, man. You're from Puerto Rico. I don't speak Spanish. I speak Spanish.
Refuerzo. I'm a little nervous. I'm sorry. And there's Goofy Reyes, el patrón.
Hey, that's my Foot Locker connect.
Yeah, that one. He said, "Dímelo, Danilo. Danilo is a real captain."
Thank
you, man. Goofy, salute, man. Salute.
Yeah, I remember those days, and to tell you the truth, sorry for for our fans and our people, los fans, ¿verdad? Los seguidores de Quebradilla, our fans from Quebradillas. I love them, ¿verdad? I got a lot of friends over there, but that finals against Quebradilla, it felt so good winning it. It must be felt great. How about that, bro?
Hey, not only that though, but shout out PJ Tucker for being
my goodness,
being like
what a grinder, right?
The definition of a grinder, absolutely. Like shout out PJ, man. Like PJ is my guy, you know, from college to overseas to, you know, I would love to, you know, go to a game and just be able to catch his eye, just to holler at him for a minute, man. Just tell him how proud of him I am for sticking with it and grinding it out, man. And you know, just look at where he is today, man. That 2011 finals, well, that whole season, a lot of people don't know that season I wasn't even supposed to play. I was supposed to have a microfracture knee surgery that year, and I remember going to the doctor and coming back and just crying in Don Luis's office and crying in his arms, like, yo, my career is over. Wow. This type of surgery is not, a surgery that you can bounce back from. He talked to me and calmed me down, and we did some PRP, some blood pallet treatments, and I was able to play. Not only was I able to play, but I think I probably had one of the best years of my career that year. We won the championship in the finals, star-studded finals. Quebradillas had a tough team that had Darius Washington Jr., who's an NBA guard, PJ Tucker, who's currently in the NBA. You have the big monster, the Hulk, Peter John Ramos. Those battles between him, Jeff, and Danny. I remember Big Bro one night not even be able to walk out the gym, like having to be stretchered out, just his back had locked up on him from wrestling with Peter John. David Huertas, who has grown on, he was a young guy then. It makes me feel really old. Yeah, it makes me feel really old to say that, that he was a young guy. And now to see him as like, one of the fixtures of, Puerto Rico basketball, like that, that's amazing. A lot of these guys, to see them in the position they're in now, Dennis Clemente, I still pay attention to bsnpr.com. I still check in on it and see what's going on. To see guys like that I was able to play with in Mayagüez, Edgar Sosa, who becoming in their own now. Guys that were looking at me like the OG, and now they're in those positions now where they're the OG, they're the vet. And just being able to watch those guys, grow and stuff now, it's just, it's crazy now to feel like we're old. Like I feel old.
Awesome, brother. Awesome, man. Great stories over there. Like, and we can be here like 2, 3, 4 hours, and the stories will going on and on and on. Well, Danilo, let's talk about a little bit about the national team in Panama, because I know you guys had good success, even though you don't have that much time to be prepared, right? But you got some great players over there too, and you got some great moments over there too.
We have some great players. We have some potential for future players. I say it all the time, man. I am the black sheep of Panama basketball.
Oh, come on.
And the reason for this is because I'm not going to. I don't sugarcoat my words. I speak the truth. I speak what things, some people like it, some people don't like it.
You speak your heart out, like how you feel, right?
And that's the reality of it, man. Panama basketball for me has been my first tournament was 2005. We qualified for the World Championships that year. We had a special run. I was still in college. I was going into my junior year of college when I went down and played, and we had a great run. Michael Hicks, Jaime Lloreda, Eric Cardenas, Tonito Garcia, Jair Peralta, who's now the president of the federation, Joel Munoz, who is I call Mighty Mouse.
Yeah.
Dionisio Gomez, who played at Arkansas, who actually was the reason Nolan Richardson, a Hall of Famer, was coaching us that year. The problem with basketball in Panama will forever be the federation.
Yeah.
There's always some type of corruption, always some type of illegal stuff going on. The first president that I played for was Miguel Sanchez. He was eventually, I'll use the word impeached because of what's going on right now in the United States. He was impeached from his position for money coming up missing. Then there was another guy who I thought was really good. I thought he had the right energy. I don't know the full, because I'm not in Panama, so I don't know the full stories. I can only tell you what I read, and what I've talked about with others. I was actually there for the Miguel Sanchez presidency, and I was staying in, hotels that were brothels and stuff like that. So I know about
Panama. Remember that hotel?
Yeah. Like
I went to the hotel. It's awesome over there.
Yeah, I've experienced it with him. Porfirio, I thought was great. He has some enemies. Jair Peralta right now has an investigation on him for like $5 million that they don't know.
Wow.
Not account. So there's always some type of corruption. To me, it's just it's not professional. Panama basketball it's this. We're always going to qualify. And that's the thing, because we're not the Caribbean. We're not. We're Central America.
Yeah.
So we're competing against Nicaragua, Guatemala, El Salvador. Nothing against those countries, but just genetically, we're going to beat them every time we play them.
Yeah.
The biggest guys from these countries are 6'1", 6'2". We have a Jaime Lloreda. We have, you know what I mean? We have La Mole.
La Mole, papi.
You know what I mean? Like we have 6'9". We have 6'8". We have that. So we're always going to be number 1 or number 2 in Central America. But unless there's real leadership put in this position of presidency, we're never going to compete with the Puerto Ricos. We're not going to compete with the Dominican Republics. We're not going to compete with the Argentinas and the Brazils of the world, because it's not real. There's no coaching. Like, for example, you look at Puerto Rico, look at the national team. The head coach, if he's not John Calipari, is going to be a Puerto Rican. When you look at the staff, it's going to be 9, 10 Puerto Rican coaches. Yeah. Well, in Panama, they don't take coaching seriously. Yeah. David Cortez is still the best coach in Panama. David Cortez is the best coach in Panama.
David Rosario.
We just saw Rosario.
Yeah, David Rosario. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah, is David coaching yet? Cortez, he coaching yet?
He's assisting us. He's with Pachi and also in Capitanes.
Good.
Yeah, he's that.
Right, my bad. So David Rosario is the best coach in Panama. Why is that? He's the only coach that really has experience outside of Panama. None of the other coaches have any coaching experience. Okay. I started with the national team in 2005. There was no national league. We didn't have a national league until 2015 in Panama, right? Where were these guys that are coaching in Panama? Where were they coaching at? Who were they coaching? They were coaching kids. Now, don't get me wrong. I started out coaching kids. We all start out coaching kids. But to jump from coaching kids to coaching the national team,
that's another level.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
That can't happen. So you don't believe in coaching. So you're not paying coaches to come to coach during your league. Then when the national team gets together, what you're going to do is you're going to say, okay, I'm going to go to Spain or I'm going to go to Argentina or Uruguay and get a coach and give him 3 weeks to prepare a team. No.
So, 3 weeks? 3 weeks? You're talking about 3 weeks and that's...
And then go play.
That's a lot. Probably a week or a week and a half at the most.
But like they literally, the last qualification tournament, they flew guys. They flew 2 or 3 Panamanian Americans from the States to play in the games. I mean, they didn't practice.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you're going to go play against Brazil. The coach from Brazil said, we have a good enough, no, we don't have our best team, but we have a good enough team to beat Panama. He wasn't lying.
Wow.
The guys are getting upset. Oh, how will you say something like that? I had to tell him in the WhatsApp chat, like, he's not lying. You know, so it's, and again, I'm not the guy because of, you know, I've been known to tell people, hey, you know, I don't agree with that. And that's not what they're looking for. So I wish them the best, but I have nothing to do with the national team in Panama. I don't see any change. I think they will always be where they're at until there's real change made.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel you, brother. Oh, yeah, you got something else, right?
Yeah, let's talk about your coaching career. What are you doing right now in basketball?
So right now, I started coaching. As soon as I retired, I started coaching. I started coaching kids. You know, I started with some 3rd graders. I started my own youth organization. It grew to about 50 kids. We had about 4 or 5 teams at one age group. And we just kept developing. My philosophy is I like to throw the kids to the fire, which means I don't believe in kids playing their age group. You play up. You know, you play older kids. Here in the States, you know, I don't know why I say here in the States, but Puerto Rico is the United States too. None of us are proud of it right now, but that is what it is. But here on the main continent, we high school basketball starts 9th grade to 12th grade, right? Your goal as a freshman in high school is to play JV or varsity, right? So that means your plan is to play against older, bigger, stronger kids.
Yeah.
Right? Because you want to play JV as a freshman. You want to play varsity as a sophomore. Your second year of high school, you want to play JV and varsity, if not just varsity. Right? So how do you prepare for that if you're not used to playing against older, bigger, stronger, longer kids? You know, so my philosophy has always been I play my kids up. I believe in development. You know, a lot of people teaching basketball right now don't believe in development. They have these organizations or these academies or whatever they want to call them to find talent and to expose this talent to the powers that be that may get the kid a scholarship or may get that coach noticed or whatever it is. I don't really care about any of that. And I say that because unlike most coaches, I've actually done the stuff that I'm trying to, like I've been every kid that I coach, I've been the small, slow kid. I've been the small, fast kid. I've been the tall, slow kid. I've been the tall, fast kid. I've been the kid who couldn't catch the ball. I've been the kid who had a great shot but couldn't dribble. I've been every kid that I coach at some point of my journey. So I let the kids know that I don't care about wins. I don't care about losses. We are here to get better and develop. With that being said, I'm shifting. I know that basketball is my calling. I want to be involved in basketball. So in the last few months, I've reached out and started doing paperwork on an LLC to start my own sports agency. I'm doing a lot of, recruiting right now, where not even really recruiting, but laying out the framework for my recruiting as far as looking at college players and where they go to school at and what type of market, they will be there for them when they're done. Not only that, I'm looking into, getting my own gym so I can do my own training. And, player development is fun, but I'm really into the coaching aspect of it, the X's and O's. I really want to have my own prep academy here within the next 2-3 years.
Nice.
I want to bring kids over from places that I played, from Puerto Rico, from Panama, from Dominican Republic. My fiance is from Brazil, so I want to bring kids over, house them, coach them, and have them play against the top talent here in the United States. Help them get their their high school diplomas and send them off to college. That's really what I want to do. The agent thing is cool, and again, it all works. It all works, for get in with kids, help the kids get to where they want to get. Then when they become pros, become their agent. Like that. It's simple. But that's where I'm at now. Really, really trying to put things together to get a basketball academy, prep type situation started. And I'm watching people do it left and right. One way to do it is like Coach Cardona down in Miami. He found Miami Prep, and that's a great situation. I think that is the avenue for us as coaches, but not only as coaches, but as Latino coaches. I think that is our avenue to help kids from from Puerto Rico, from Dominican Republic, to help them get to where they want to go. Because do I speak the language? Great, no, but it's nothing for me to become a head coach and hire George as my assistant. You know what I mean? That I think that's the lane for a lot of us that just it has to be opened up a little bit more. I'm definitely watching Coach Juan down there in Miami. Salute Juan Cardona, one of the best defensive minds to come from that island. Coach was so important to our run. I remember we played some games. To play a game without Larry, to play a game without myself, which I try to do everything. I don't think I missed a game in my whole career. I didn't like missing games. But to play a game without one of our main pieces, without Guillermo, without Danny, was hard. But we always found a way to overcome that. But I remember we had to play a couple games without Juan, and it hurt us. I'll be up in a minute, baby. And it hurt us. Like, we were lost defensively, and Kanye tried to fill in, but like those little shoes were hard to fill. Kanye, shout out to Kanye, he's another great guy. Who,
great people, man. Great people.
How many times me and David would be on the sideline fighting and going at it, and then Kanye would come and be like, "Hey, man, you see her over there in the third row, just to calm me down." You know what I mean? Or crack a joke. People don't know. I know people used to always say, "Man, who's that little bald head guy? He don't know nothing about basketball. He's not a basketball coach." So you'd be surprised, man. His basketball, he knew enough about basketball to help you out as a basketball player, but that wasn't his main role. His main role was the cerebral part of it, the mental part of it. Hey, I know you want to cuss somebody out, but don't cuss David out. Cuss me out. Like he was that type of guy. That type of coach, man. That's needed. And I just, like I said, man, shout out to everybody that was there when I was there, man.
Awesome, and here's the thing, like you said. I heard your stories, man, and I can say that. No, I heard the story about Danilo that he will play no matter what. Like he will straight up whatever he needs to straight up, and let's go do the fire, man. There are a couple of people here saying hi. You got them right.
There's Ian Soto saying hi. Goofy is agreeing with you that you have to work in the development, not in the winning. Also, Goofy is asking if you heard or saw playing Pinson on RJ RJ Melendez or Andrés Pinson.
Actually, no. They're still in high school. RJ Melendez is at Central Point High School where Richie Dalmau is and Christian.
Right. Okay.
So that kid, let me tell you, I carry that boy here in my arms, like when he was born. Yeah. His father is one of my best friends, and his mother too.
Right.
And that kid developed Danilo like so great, like he understand when he left Puerto Rico, right? He was like 6'2". Very skinny guy. He hasn't like developed to a man and into the young man yet, right? But he understood what he needed to do in order to achieve what he's achieving right now, right?
Right.
So he didn't stop working, and I'm telling you, if you know Christian Dalmau, you know how Christian works. Still, right now, at his age right now, he can still play. Like
Right.
he has his body like ripped. You know what I'm saying? And he's working with him day and night, day and night, day and night. Even in the pandemic, in la pandemia, he's still working.
Still working.
Bro, he is right now in the he started his senior year in the top 100 ESPN 100 nationwide,
That's what's up.
and now he went up like into the top 50. You know.
Mm.
And he grew up from 6'2", and now he's about 6'7", maybe 6'8", playing the two position, dog.
Two position. That's beautiful. That's
And
beautiful.
Pinnock is one of the top. Like he's actually the in the U17 he was a starting point guard with the national team, and he accepted a scholarship to play in St. John's University.
St. John's, going up to Queens. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's big. The high school rankings I'm not gonna lie, I kind of stay away from the high school rankings now.
Yeah.
Only because I feel like they're making these guys superstars before they accomplish anything.
Yeah.
The
hype is too up, right?
Yeah, it's social media. And you know, I'm not saying, listen, if I was growing up right now, and I'd probably doing the same thing. You know, I would want, but I'm not for it. I'm gonna follow them when they've done something for me to follow. With that being said, you know, that's what it's really about, man. It's helping those kids. I feel that the island, and I refer to it as the island still.
Don't worry about it, bro.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's not a bad thing. Don't worry about it.
Has so much talent, so much potential, and not just basketball. And it's in so many different avenues. And when you could take those kids from the island and bring them to the States, they have a different mindset than the kids here in the United States. And it's not just you know, kids from Puerto Rico that come from bad, you know, surroundings or poor. No, it's the majority of the kids that come from Puerto Rico, because at the end of the day, there's a sense of pride, and you can't hide. Even if I'm wealthy, I still see the kids over there who don't have. I know what it can be. You know what I mean? So there's like a hunger that I see from kids from Puerto Rico, but from Latin America, that the kids here in the States lack.
Yeah.
You know, and I get it. I get it because, again, I grew up here in the States.
Pretty much. And to tell you the truth, there's last couple of years that like guys like Pinnock and Rams and all those guys have opened more doors, so guys from Puerto Rico can come here to the States, right, and see another things, so different things. Like for one instance, nothing to take a blame of anything in Puerto Rico, because that's my country, my island. I love it, but it's not the same going to a school and you see the gym at a certain school. Like you went to my school, to my high school in Puerto Rico, and you saw it's the floor is in cement and everything.
Yeah.
And you walk to any high school here, like I got a high school right next door where I live here in Florida, and it's all wooded floor. You got like 12 basket put on.
Mm-hmm.
And AC and all the facility is different. So when kids go and change from that thing, like seeing what they got in Puerto Rico to here, that motivates them and makes them like feel different, you know?
Yeah, that's the type of kid that really has a chance to make it, like in not just in basketball, but in athletic period, because it's such a dog eat dog. It's a grind, and if you can't grind, then you can't survive in this. You know, it's fun, and I tell you all the time, it was a great life playing basketball. But if you think it's easy, you think it's gonna be all fun and games, you know, this thing, it makes you sacrifice. You're gonna sacrifice something. Those kids that are leaving Puerto Rico, we're talking about kids that are leaving at 15. They're still babies.
Yeah.
I say it all the time. A 15-year-old, if you think about it this way, a 15-year-old only stopped peeing on themselves 5 years ago. Think about that.
Yeah.
At 15 years old, all that means is I stopped peeing on myself 5 years ago. That's all it means. So you say
you're right.
You say a 14 or a 15-year-old is uprooting everything, leaving where they're from, where they're comfortable, their mom, their dad, and going somewhere to accomplish something. That's a sacrifice that is going to be repaid.
Yeah.
If they continue to sacrifice, that sacrifice is going to be repaid.
Most definitely.
That's the message that I want to make sure that, every kid that hears my voice, that I'm able to touch and work out. I want them to know that part, man. That this game, I refer to basketball as a bank account. If you go to the bank and you go to the ATM machine and you put that card in there and you didn't make any deposits into that bank account, ain't nothing coming out of that machine.
Exactly. Pretty much. Oh yeah, you got somebody in the chat.
Yes. Gabriel Vasquez saying that you are the best refuerzo, as you want to speak Spanglish with me. I'm joking. And there is the Lieutenant Ramon Centeno, nuestro pana Kiro, está por ahí. And Goofy is telling us that Luis El Gordo is the best college shooter that he saw. There's Brian Fernandez asking us to talk about Alfonso Plummer.
Alfonso Plummer, yeah. I think he played for Nebraska. I think it is. He's a great shooter. Like, actually, last year I think he has a game he hit like 10 3-pointers or something like that. A great kid. Well, Junior, one last question before we leave, bro. I mean, like I told you, we can be here like 4 hours and 5 hours, 6 hours because
absolutely,
I miss you so much, dog. I miss you so much, brother. That we gotta keep in touch and be together, man.
I have to tell you that I was a fan. Now I admire you as I hear your story. I see that you was always like an underdog, and you work for that, and you sacrifice, as you tell, to be where you want to be, and I respect that.
Thank you.
In that same line, Junior, in that same line, we always finish our interviews with this same question, right? And the question is, what kind of advice, what kind of thing you can say to not only the young fellas that are growing up, but everybody, but especially those kids that would identify themselves with you, with their careers, what you can say that will help them go to the right path and at least do the things the way they're supposed to be. What do you can say to them?
The first thing I would say is that understand that everything is bigger than just you. That's the first thing. I'm gonna say a couple, maybe 3 or 4 things. Okay? The first thing is understand that things are always bigger than just you. So many times, guys get locked into, I gotta go do this, I gotta go do that, I gotta go do this. Just like shooting, you can shoot and you can do everything right. You can hold your elbow in, hold your follow through, eye it all the way there, and still miss, right? So that means that all you can really do is what you can do. There's still a percentage of luck that has to go along with it, right? And the only way you keep that in check is if you realize that it's always bigger than just you, right? Secondly, one of the things that helped me out the best and what was the most special about those teams in Arecibo that we went back to back is that every one of those guys, myself, Larry, Guillermo, Danny, Jeff, especially, let me just say it this way, especially myself, Larry, and Guillermo. It could have been very easy for the three of us to not get along, to be worried about how much money he's making and he's getting treated like that. But one thing that we always did is we worried about ourselves. You worry about yourself. If you worry about yourself, when other people try to hold you accountable, it's easy. It's already taken care of, right? If you worry about yourself and don't focus on what the next man has, what the next man is doing, just focus on you. Just don't worry about what the other kid is ranked and what this kid is being ranked and what that kid is being ranked and what they got this team ranked as. Don't worry about that. Just focus on you, right? And you think about the two things I just said. They kind of contradict each other, right?
Yeah.
Because I said focus on you, right? And then I'm telling you it's not just always about you.
Exactly.
But that's the whole thing about life. It's a contradiction. Life is a contradiction. How you handle it, how you get through it. Are you a person that's always like this? Up and down, up and
like
down.
a roller coaster, right?
Right. Being consistent is the key. No matter what you want to do, if you want to play basketball, you want to be a doctor, being consistent. Being consistent. Always getting your work in. Always making sure what you're supposed to be done is done. If you do those three things, it's not always about you. Focus on yourself and stay consistent. You're putting yourself on the track for success. If you start being blinded by what other people are doing, or you really think it's all about you, those are the flaws that bring people down. I can honestly say in my life, in my basketball career, I was like this. I was like this when I was in Arecibo and after. But before that, everything was like this. Right? Up and down, up and down, up and down. When I was able to just be consistent, start winning championships, and that's what it's about, just being consistent. Once people understand that, and that's no matter what. Think about people that are on a diet, right? I'm going to use Kike. Since we all know Kike, I'm going to use Kike. Do you remember when I challenged Kike?
I remember that.
I made a bet with Kike that if he lost a certain amount of weight, I would give him a certain amount of money.
Yep, I remember that.
And he started off killing it. Lost about 20 pounds in like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Wow.
Was walking, was watching what he was eating. Kike, I love you.
Hey, now me and Giga and the fellas, we can do that thing, like, but not with the money. We can have to do it for ourselves, you know.
We have to start doing. Even myself, man. I'm in retirement now. I got up to like 240. I started putting on a little weight. I was like, wait a minute, I got to stop eating. I got to figure something out.
Now you look like a linebacker, like a tight end.
Right. You know, I used to look like a quarterback. Now I look like a defensive end.
Yeah.
But just being consistent, man. And that's just all it's about, man. Kids being consistent and keeping that consistency, finding a routine and sticking to that routine, and just letting. Again, you can do everything right and it still not work out. So all your job is to give yourself the best opportunity.
Awesome, brother.
Give yourself the best opportunity. If you do that, the sky's the limit.
Awesome. Oh yeah, you got something else to for Danilo?
No, I want to thank Danilo for all the time. It's an honor for me. I admire you, respect you. You have here a friend. Maybe a little jealous because of your relationship with George, but no, I'm joking.
We're older. That's the only reason, because we're older.
Don't fall for that. Don't fall for that. He's older than you. He's 40 years old, bro.
Who's 40?
He's 40 years old. Yeah.
Okay. What you doing?
He has like 4 surgeries already.
Yeah.
No surgery. No surgery, but thanks for that, and now I love you for that.
Absolutely.
No,
thank you guys for having
I really
me
thank
on,
you.
Man. Thank you, man.
Don't leave after the credits. Don't leave. I got to tell you something real quick. We're gonna say hi. It should say, oh, there it is.
Oh,
what a beautiful jersey it is, bro.
I even got a special edition when I wore number 3 for League of Las Americas one year.
Oh, wow.
Instead of the 24. So yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome. I just want to say thank you, brother, for the time that you had with us here. You know, this is your house, bro. This is your house. Whenever you wanna come back, whatever you want to do, you want us to give you some advertising or whatever, just where you find me, you can find me. And you're part of Inventando con los Panas. You're part of us,
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
And I want to thank everybody who was with us during the interview, in the chat, everybody that follow us. Oye, ¿dónde nos pueden conseguir?
Bueno, nos consiguen en Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, nuestro canal de YouTube, también en Anchor, Spotify, Apple y Google Podcast, todo como Inventando con los Panas, también nuestro webpage www.inventandoconlospanas.com.
Así mismo es. That's how it is. So, Danilo, I invite you to. I don't know if you're a morning person, but we got a show during the Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. It's called Inventando con los Panas Morning Edition. We pretty much like have all the news, what is trending in the island and here in the U.S. And the other half of the show is pretty much sports and everything. It's like a morning show we are more than welcome whenever you want to participate. You can be with us whenever you want, all right?
Absolutely. That sounds fun, man. I definitely interested in that.
Any last words that you want to say to our people, Danilo?
Hey, I'm sorry that my Spanish, that I'm not comfortable enough to speak Spanish on here. So I know.
But you don't even try.
Man, don't do me like that. OJ, come on, man. I get nervous, man. But yeah, no, I just want to say, man, I miss you guys. I miss Arecibo. I miss Atillo. I'm even gonna give a shout out to Quebradillas. Awesome. Who I actually finished my career in the BSN wearing their uniform.
Yeah.
The fans of Mayagüez, who I had a great time with for the year I was out there, and also a little bit of time I was in San Germán. That west side of the island is special to me. I love that side of the island. So,
yep,
yes, thank you guys for the opportunity. I'm so humbled, man. You guys are always a part of, my basketball life that I'm super proud of, man. And the relationships, man. That's what it's really about, man. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
We're proud of you, man. We're proud of you. OJ, any last words?
Nada, como siempre, gracias a Papá Dios. I'm going to speak in Spanish right now. Gracias a Papá Dios que nos dio la oportunidad de tener a esta leyenda del equipo de los capitanes de Arecibo y del baloncesto superior, Danilo Pinnock. Gracias a todos los que estuvieron con nosotros. George, como siempre, de más está decir, ¿verdad? Que estoy agradecido con lo que estamos trabajando. Y nada, esperamos verlos mañana tempranito a las 6 de la mañana en Inventando con los Panas, Morning Edition.
Thank you to everybody that has been watching us, and we are very humble too. The only thing that we can say is thank you, and thanks for everything. Gracias a todos por seguirnos, por todo el apoyo. Y les recuerdo, ¿verdad? Que si estás en tu casa, mano, buen provecho. Si estás comiendo algo, estás cenando, no olvides decirle a tus seres queridos, don't forget about saying to your loved ones how much you love them, how important they are for you, each and everything. Everybody in your house, and don't go away if you're mad. Don't be mad at somebody and leave your house. No, settle everything down and then you can leave. No te vayas de tu casa sin estar molesto.
On a mask.
Exactly. So, que tengan, ¿verdad? Desde mi parte, unas bendiciones y como siempre, que siempre me acompaña, oye María, nuestro invitado de hoy, Danilo Pinnock, que te habla es Coach Josh. Estamos agradecidos. Esto fue
la entrevista con el Pana de Inventando con los Panas.
En el season, mira, número 2, así que se me cuidan.
Bye.